What is the most uncomfortable feeling in the world? I just had a hemorrhoidectomy a few days ago, so butthole surgery has really climbed to the top of my list. Still haven't had my first post-op poop, so please pray for me, fellow Redditors. Hanging out with your friend, while also hanging out with their friend that clearly doesn't care for you, and they keep throwing around inside jokes and addressing each other more than you. Going to the bathroom from a wet bathing suit. Your butt is wet and you slide around in the toilet, so creepy, feels like you're cleaning the seat with your butt. Horrible. When you bite into a food that's supposed to be soft and something crunches. Or when you choke while drinking water in a public space. Scabies. It doesn't hurt. But it itches like a motherfucker. I went 3 days without sleeping. By the end of it, I swear I could hear them under my skin. Don't wish that shit on my worst enemy. Runner up, getting all my wisdom teeth yanked with just local anesthetics. Truly the most uncomfortable, yet non-painful thing I have ever experienced. Having an intermittent stomach pain when you are in a situation that does not allow you to poop. For me, it was driving in the car with a girl I was seeing. Sweating from the stomach cramps and no bathroom in sight. Not knowing. Boss asks to meet with you in 5 hours. Not knowing. Get a call me text. Not knowing is the worst. Waiting in the doctor's office for test results and not knowing. The worst. When something very bad has happened and you are helpless, powerless. When there is not one single thing you can do to improve the situation. You simply have to wait. When your nails are too long, then you become aware of them, can't cut them at the moment, constantly curl your toes, feeling horrible. Speaking a new language when you're just starting out. You feel like an idiot, no matter how intelligent of a person you are. Being told by the doctors that there is nothing else they can do for her and we need to talk about palliative care. Trying to get my money back into my wallet and grab the shit I just bought from the gas station, knowing there is a line behind me. Being in a room with other people and you know for a fact none of them like you. You feel like a wounded deer in the middle of a pack of starving wolves. When someone smiles at you, you smile back, then a person comes from behind you, smiling back too. And a realization strikes. I'm not sure what is, but having to walk to the bathroom right after you've stepped on a dog turd while barefoot and feeling the turd play-doh between your toes is up there. Emotionally coming to terms with never being able to speak to someone close to you who has passed away. Having to leave for work in less than 2 hours while being incredibly exhausted and unable to sleep the entire night. When a hair gets trapped in her waistband of pants or underwear and it tickles her butt cheek or crack and you're at work or somewhere you can't dig in her pants to remove it. I used to work in a small restaurant. We were packed with couples on Valentine's Day, but surprisingly a lot of people were dining alone as well. We had a line out the door for walk-ins. My colleague, with an evil grin on her face, gestured to the solo tables and suggested that we start bringing in the other solo customers at the door, seating them together and watching them squirm. Having your mother-in-law walk in on you masturbating, while you're wearing your special outfit, when she's squatting on top of you, writing fast, in such a way that you slide almost completely out each time, and despite the fact that you're in the middle of getting laid, the only thing you can think about is how one tiny, inconsequential slip or muscle spasm from either of you will absolutely snap your dick in two like a dry twig. Having some random guy at work randomly tell me his father sexually abused him as a kid. I just walked away. Finding your dead relative on the floor, they've been there for a month and the smell hits you. Maybe this is a neurodivergent thing, but being in a room with someone whose basic human noises are annoying. This happens a lot to me with eating. If it's quiet and someone is eating, it is one of the worst noises to me. But I can't tell them to shut up, so I just have to deal with it. Underwire from your bra poking you because there's a tiny hole and the actual wire is starting to come out. Neutral face. Think about the most embarrassing, shameful thing you have ever done. The way you felt when thinking about whatever it was is the most uncomfortable feeling in the world. It is so uncomfortable that your mind will immediately try to distract you from thinking about whatever it was. The most uncomfortable I have felt was after surgery to remove kidney stones. I went back in to get the stent removed. I get to the appointment and the hottest nurse in the building comes out to get me. She had me drop my pants, hop up on a table and lay back. Then proceeded to pull start my dick like a lawnmower. When you get that annoying cough that won't stop when you're in class or somewhere in public. And when you try not to cough, your eyes feel like they're going to bulge out and you make a sound 10x worse than a cough. I hate that. Well, I've recently found out at 34 that it would be a hemorrhoid. Been 2 weeks and it doesn't hurt anymore, but it's not going back inside. Skull. Vaginal prolapse. Like you have something strange over there what feel alien, but in fact it is part of your body. And it feel wrong on so many levels. I had heart surgery and they left some wires attached to my heart that exited my body through a little hole on my stomach.
Last day in hosp, they lay you down feet slightly above heart, tell you to count to 3 and they just pull them out. I could feel them scrape along the inside of my chest wall before they popped out of their little incision. Would describe as uncomfortable, the strange burn itch that comes after pissing with a UTI. By the time it goes away, it's time to pee again. One of those things where in the moment, you start to think about how many pees you took that didn't hurt, and took it for granted, when a group of people you're around casually expose their vile racism because they think you think like them. Those butthole cramps that come on just randomly. I believe they are called rectal spasms. Whatever they are, they about take the breath out of me. Taking antipsychotic when you're not psychotic made me completely restless. I was writhing with discomfort for an hour. 0-10, do not recommend. Acid reflux disease. If you somehow inhale that acid, think accidentally choking on water saliva, but it's your stomach's acid instead. Clearing your throat and the sensation just burns tastes like acid.